The most important thing is that you slowly want to get out of feeling like a tourist to this is home. Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica, and of course this is my channel. Okay, so in today's video we're going to be talking about the truth about moving to a new country. So obviously we see people moving to a new country all the time on social media, but I kind of want to get into like the deeper layers of it. So like the whole process of it, how you're actually feeling when you're preparing to move, when you actually get to the new country. When you see someone move to a new country, I feel like a lot of people just show the highlights, honestly. But I want to talk about both sides. So yes, of course it's fun, exciting, whatever, but there's also so much that goes into it. If you're moving to a new country, it's not like you just pack up your bags and your suitcase and the next day or the next week or even the next month you're there. There's a whole process that goes into it. So we'll be getting into all of that in today's video. Before I get started, don't forget to follow me on my socials, Instagram here, TikTok here, Jess Kuma. Okay, so first I want to do like a little background talk and like a little context before I actually get into like the bulk of this video. So I'm Canadian, born and raised in Canada, but right now I live in Italy, okay? This is my first time doing like such a big move. At the end of 2021, all the years are all mixed up. At the end of 2021, I left Canada for 5 months because I traveled around to different places, but it's so different because I knew at the end of those 5 months I'd be coming back to Canada. So it's not like I left and I was like, oh, don't know when I'm coming back. I had an end date to that travel, and it's so different. It's so different going somewhere for 5 months, 6 months, honestly 8 months, 9 months, whatever. But when you're actually going to go live somewhere, completely different. Okay, so before you move to a new country, number one thing that everyone has is a reason. Okay, so whether it's for school, for work / business, if you want to retire in a new country, if you're moving for a partner, if you're moving literally just to explore another country, there's always a reason why you're moving from country A to country B. So for me, I moved because of my partner. He needs to physically be there at work, and I have the flexibility to like kind of be working from anywhere since I do everything online. So that's what made me make the move from Canada to Italy. The process of moving to a country versus visiting is so different. So most countries you can actually visit / stay there for about 3 months or 6 months. Every country is different. Canada I know is 6 months, Mexico is 6 months, Europe is 3 months, but we're gonna get into the whole Europe thing afterwards. Depending on the country, you may need some sort of documentation or a visa just to visit. So I know for Turkey, because I've been there twice, you need like not a Turkish visa, but I guess like a visa to actually just enter the country. But if you're going to live somewhere, you 100% definitely need some visa or documentation. Once again, different in every country. For this video, obviously I'm talking about the whole world, but I may be doing a lot of Europe examples just because that's the visa that I got, that's the process that I know, and that's the whole experience that I've been through. Okay, so Europe has this thing called the 90-180 rule, and it's kind of like difficult to understand. It took me a very long time, but once you get it, you get it. And there's also calculators online that can do everything for you automatically, because this is the rule. So within the last 6 months, 180 days, 180 days, you can stay in Europe for 3 months, 90 days. But it's called a rolling calendar. So you have to start this whole calculation from the first time you entered Europe, right? And every day you leave Europe, you get a day back. I'm gonna put a link in the description box of one of the calculators that helps you calculate everything, because you definitely do not want to be staying even 1 day extra. If you stay 91 days out of the past like 180 days, you can get in a lot of trouble. And this is something that I made sure that I wasn't going to do, because I do not want to be in trouble with any country, okay? Me and US, we're like this. And this is not props, this is a war, but that's a whole nother story for another day. For Europe, you want to make sure that you don't overstay, because if you overstay in one country in Europe, you are going to have a problem with the whole, it's called the Schengen area, and it's like over 20 different places in Europe, okay, that you're gonna have a problem with. So just make sure you're doing the calculations right. And if you love the country you're visiting, any country in the world, and you want to stay longer, you're gonna have to have the visa. Obviously this video is going to be focused more on visa stuff, because citizenship and passport, that's like a whole different process, like a whole different video. There are different types of visas and requirements for visas in every country around the world. So whether you're getting a study visa, a work visa, There's also a visa in Europe, like you can retire, but you have to renew it annually, like most visas. The working holiday visa, whatever visa you have to make sure that you meet all the requirements for it so that they can actually grant that to you. For me personally, I'm on the working holiday visa. It was just very easy to get. It took me literally 2 days. Well, really, it's the whole thing. Okay, my visa was ready in 2 days, but I got it 2 weeks after because I did something wrong, okay? So definitely follow the rules. But yes, it's very easy for the working holiday visa. Make sure you meet the requirements. They're super simple. Also, I'm pretty sure for like every visa in the world, you're gonna have to get health insurance. So I got that. It was like an extra $400 for like the year for my visa. You have to pay for the visa application itself. There's so many like random things you just have to pay for. If you want a specific video on going through the working holiday visa, just let me know, because that could be a whole video in itself. I don't want to focus too much on it, but I do want to say like that is an option. For most places in the world, you have to be 19 to 30 or 35, depending on the country. Okay, so let's say you go through the whole visa process. You got your visa now. It's in your passport, it's in your hands, and now you're ready to go. So now you are preparing to leave the country that you're in. Obviously, you're slowly, mentally, emotionally, maybe even physically preparing to leave before your whole visa process. But once you actually have the visa in your hand and they mail it back to you, or you pick it up, whatever, you're like, wow, this is real. Like, this is happening. And the thing is, I believe for most of the visas, whatever, you have to have your like plane ticket. So basically, you know your departure date. It is kind of annoying that you have to get a plane ticket to leave before you even get approved for your visa, and you're kind of like in a waiting game because you're like, what if I don't get approved and I have this whole plane ticket? I did read online, like a lot of research before actually going through the process, that a lot of people just get, it's annoying, but a lot of people just get the most expensive ticket because you can get your money back. It can be refundable, just in case like something happens with the visa and they say you're not approved, and now you have this whole plane ticket to go to another country, and it's like, ugh, you know? But as you're preparing to leave, there's so many emotions and feelings that you're going through. You can be happy, sad, excited, scared, anxious, whatever you're feeling, it's all valid. Just know that, because everyone's gonna have like obviously different feelings. Most of the feelings are gonna be, you know, the same, mutual between everybody. And yeah, you honestly may be doing something common. You're just moving to another country, but it's a big step. Honestly, it's not like you're moving to another state or another province or across the country. You're moving to a different country. So basically, within the time that you're applying for the visa and you're kind of waiting for the response, obviously, I'm assuming everybody applies for the visa wanting to get approved, right? So you're kind of doing the last minute things. You're not just like waiting around. You're seeing your friends and some friends and family for the last time. Not ever in your life, but just for now, you know? You are going to maybe to your favorite places for the last time. This is what I did, at least. I went to like my favorite restaurants, my favorite like areas around Toronto, just doing things that like I know I wouldn't be able to do for a while. And once again, depending on where you go, you want to grab like your essentials. I'm a little bit lucky because I've been going back and forth for like 8 months basically before I even applied for the visa. Obviously with my partner, I was like getting to know him and everything. We're like working out the plans and stuff. So, and as I said, every time I left the country for like a month or like a few weeks or whatever, I would get those days back within that calendar, the 190, 180 rule. So it wasn't really too much of a problem until like we actually got a place, and then I was like, yeah, the visa needs to happen, because what am I gonna do? Well, what am I gonna do here, okay? Okay, what I mean by getting your favorite essentials before you leave is like, depending on where you go, that country may not have what like your favorite thing is. So for me, for example, I use a specific face moisturizer, I use a specific cleanser, a specific deodorant, right? I cannot find those specific, like that brand and everything in Europe. Well, in Italy at least. I'm just gonna speak about Italy. So when every time like I come back, I just bring them with me, you know? I bring like a few of them because I don't know, I don't want to be switching things up. Obviously there's some things where like I can get this anywhere and that's fine, but I want my certain deodorant, you know? I want certain things. So like honestly, even if you have like a favorite hot sauce or like a favorite, I don't know, like if you're using incense and you have a favorite scent, like just make sure you bring your essentials. And it also helps too because it kind of makes you, not makes you feel at home, but it makes you feel more comfortable being in your new environment and in your new country. But yeah, I'm only saying essentials for like the important things. Like this notebook, for example, this is from Italy, but like I don't care about a notebook, you know? I care about like my cosmetics. So now you got your visa, you're packed, you're ready to go, you've seen all your friends and family, you've got your essentials, and you've been to your favorite places for the last time. Now you leave, right? You departure and you're arriving at your new country. And I feel like this happens to everyone, but for a moment, for a second, you may think to yourself, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what did I really do? Did I really just do this? Because in like, there are so many emotions that you're going through when you're actually in your original home with your like your friends and your family and everything. Even on the plane you may be a little bit excited, but when you actually get into your new place, your new house, you're like, whoa, like I'm here, you know? After the whole process of like sending all your documents for your visa and doing all this and that, and you're actually in your new home, you're just like, whoa, everything hits you. Reality sets in that moment. And yeah, you may think like, what the fuck did I just do? But it's all worth it. It is a little nerve-wracking in the beginning because your environment is different. There's a little bit of culture shock. You know, you have to kind of change your routine, get used to what's around you. There's new people around you. You're getting used to your new life. And honestly, you may be in a place where like their main language is not what you're used to. So now you're like learning a new language too. There's a lot going on. Slowly over time, you just start to settle in. And then literally your new life happens. Like you just start getting used to the neighborhood. You start getting used to your neighbors, the people at the cafe, the restaurants that you go to. You start maybe even speaking the new language a little bit. Like for me, I knew very little Italian when I first started going there a lot, which is like last October. My first time there was last July, then I didn't go back until October and blah, 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 whatever. But I knew very little Italian and I knew that like I needed to learn this language, especially if I knew I was going to be moving there. So right now I'm actually in school learning the language, and that helps so much because in Italy at least, like the more north you go, like yes they speak English, but I'm more towards the south, like I'm in Naples, and not like, yes people speak English, but you want to immerse yourself in your new home, you know? You're not here visiting anymore, this is where you live. Personally, I think that even if you live somewhere where yes they speak a little bit of the language that you speak, but they have another language which is their main language, it's important to learn a little bit of the basics. You know, you want to integrate yourself into your new home, into your new place. As someone who's learning a new language, I will say that it is a little bit difficult, but I'm learning more and more every day. Honestly, I started off doing Duolingo. I was doing Duolingo for like, I feel like 8 months. Okay, maybe not 8 months, but like 6 months, okay? And it did help me learn a lot of words. And it's good that like, if you're around people who are speaking that language, you hear certain words and then you kind of get the context of the conversation and then you start to learn a little bit more. It's a process, it takes time, but it's so important to learn. And I feel like it's so important to integrate yourself into your new country. If I keep getting light and dark, the sun is like playing games today, and that's fine, it's okay. But anyways, lastly, adding on to like integrating yourself into your new country, something that I think is very important to do is still continue your hobbies and activities that you used to do like back in your original country, right? So I used to go to the gym a lot. I signed up for a gym where I live now in Italy. If you do swimming, if you do Pilates, yoga, I don't know, golf, whatever you do, try to find a place where you can also do that in your new country. The most important thing is that you slowly want to get out of feeling like a tourist to this is home. That's what the goal is at the end of the day. Obviously in the beginning you're adjusting to like your new environment and everything going on, but like 5, 6, 7 months down the road, you don't want to feel like you're still a tourist. You don't want to feel uncomfortable. You don't want to feel like it isn't home. That's what the main point is, right? You're moving to a new country and you want to make it feel like home. You don't want to feel like you're out of place. But yeah, that is everything I wanted to talk about today. The truth about moving to a new country, what actually happens, the feelings you feel, the whole process, what happens when you get there. We talked about it all. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you got some value out of it. Let me know if you plan on moving to a new country. Like, would you? There's a lot of people I know that like will never even solo travel. Solo travel is in my heart and my soul. Love solo traveling, but some people are scared to solo travel. So let me know if you're, but I'm assuming if you're scared to solo travel, you're probably scared to move to a new country. But you know, let me know. Maybe you have a dream of moving to a new country. I'd love to know that. Personally, I never thought I'd be moving to a new country. So honestly, who knows what your answer may be. I literally thought like my life would be all in Canada, but you know, things change, you never know. Life will take you where it wants to take you. I'll tell you that for free. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And of course, these are my socials once again, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.